a little story to share with you. Have you ever heard of the story of Herman the Worm? Many of you might have seen the YouTube video about Herman the Worm. Well, I have my own version of the story, and I have my own Herman right here. Everyone meet Herman. He's technically a caterpillar, but we're gonna pretend he's a worm for the sake of our song. So, hi, Herman. Hello. So, let's go ahead and listen to my story. And there's some pieces that are gonna keep coming back. So, if you keep hearing certain things again and again, feel free to join in with me. One day, I was sitting on the front porch chewing some bubble gum, playing with my yo-yo, woo, woo! And along came Herman the Worm, and I say, "What's up, Herman? How you doing?" "What's up, Miss Herbie? I'm just feeling a little bit hungry lately, "Yeah, I know, Thanksgiving's coming around the corner, and it's about that time. We're gonna eat a lot of food soon." Yeah, I'm ready for that. But I don't know if I really want food." "What do you mean you don't want food? What else would you eat?" "I don't know. Remember that shy fellow who swallowed a cello?" "Yeah, the guy who ate a bunch of instruments?" "Yeah, he's a cool guy. I like him." "Herman, please don't go eating instruments, okay? That was just a book. That's fiction. It's not real. It's not good for you. So I highly recommend you don't eat musical instruments." Yeah, sure, whatever. I'm gonna go find something to eat." And he left. All right, so I'm hoping that he's just gonna eat whatever it is that worms eat, right? Well, the next day, I was sitting on the front porch chewing some bubble gum, playing with my yo-yo, woo, woo! And Herman came back. Only this time, you remember how he was like this big? This time, he was like this big. And I'm like, "Whoa, Herman, what happened?" He said, "Well, Mr. Remember I was hungry." I was like, "Yeah, I remember you were hungry." He's like, "Well, I ate a maraca." "A maraca? You mean that musical instrument in the percussion family that you shake?" He's like, Yeah, I ate that." "What? Herman, you shouldn't be eating maracas. That's not food." Yeah, whatever. I'm still kind of feeling hungry, though," he said. And I'm like, "Herman, please stop eating. Please stop eating maracas. Please stop eating instruments. It's not good for you." "Yeah, sure," he says, and he crawls away. I'm a little worried now that Herman's going to get into some more trouble. The next day, I was sitting on the front porch chewing some bubble gum, playing with my yo-yo, woo, woo! And Herman comes back, only this time, he's like this big. And I said, "Herman, what happened? How did you get so big so fast?" And he said, "Well, Miss Herbie, I was still hungry, so I ate a violin." It just swallowed a violin. How did you swallow a violin? That instrument in the strings family? That's way too big for your little mouth. How did you do it?" He's like, "I have my ways. But I'm still feeling a little bit hungry, And I'm thinking, I don't know how you can possibly still be hungry after eating a maraca and a violin. That's wild. That doesn't make any sense. He says, well, I'm going to go find something else to eat." And I said, "Herman, please don't eat any more instruments. You're going to hurt yourself." And I'm really worried about Herman at this point. But he leaves. And the next day, I was sitting on the front porch chewing my bubble gum, playing with my yo-yo, woo, woo! And Herman, he comes back. Only this time, he is like this big. I'm like, "Whoa, Herman, what happened? How did you possibly get this big?" And he said, "Well, remember, I was hungry still, right?" I was like, "Yeah, you ate a maraca and you ate a violin, but that still wasn't enough for you somehow." He says, "Yeah, well, this time I ate a bassoon." And if you don't know what a bassoon is, I'm going to put a picture of it right here. A bassoon is humongous, you guys. It is a huge instrument in the woodwind family. And because it's so big, it has a really low sound. You play it like this. Boo, 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 boo. We'll have to listen to the bassoon later. But anyway, I'm thinking this is absolutely bonkers. "Herman, how did you possibly eat a bassoon? That's not good for you." He's like, "Yeah, well, I'm feeling a little, a little curvy. Maybe I should hit the gym or something." I was like, "Herman, maybe you should stop eating instruments. That's my suggestion to you." Yeah, whatever, Miss Herbie. He's just not listening to me. I'm trying to be a good friend to Herman, and he's just like really freaking me out. I think he needs to go to a doctor or something because this is not healthy. He leaves, and I could not sleep that night. I was so worried about Herman. The next day, I was sitting on the front porch chewing my bubble gum, playing with my yo-yo, woo, woo. And Herman comes back, and he was like, whoa, even bigger than my arms can stretch. Like, he was humongous. And I think, Herman, what happened? And he said, well, Miss Herbie, I decided to swallow a tuba. A tuba? That's like that really big instrument in the brass family. It's humongous. How could you possibly eat a tuba, Herman? How? Well, I have my ways. None of this is making sense to me. He looks like a giant snake. He doesn't even look like a worm anymore. I'm freaking out. Herman, you need to go to a doctor. I'm going to call a doctor for you. We need to get you some help. This is bad. You have a problem, Herman. And he's like, yeah, whatever. I don't need you telling me how to live my life. And he angrily slithers away really slowly because he's so big. It takes him a long time to leave. I don't even know what to do at this point. I feel like I've lost hope for Herman. I don't know what to do. The next day, I was sitting on the front porch chewing my bubble gum, playing with my yo-yo, woo, woo. And I'm afraid now. I'm afraid he's going to come back like worse than ever. But you're not going to believe this. Herman comes back looking just like this. And I think, Herman, what happened? You look great. What'd you do? What's your secret? How did you go from being gigantic to being this little cute little worm again? And he said, well, Miss Herbie, I burped. The end. So silly. Somehow his burp magically made it to where he's not so gigantic anymore. Thank you for listening to my Herman the Worm story. In my story, he first ate a maraca in the percussion family, then he ate a violin in the strings family, and then he ate a bassoon in the woodwind, and last he ate a tuba in the brass family. So he took one instrument from every instrument family until he was all stuffed up. So I'm glad he's okay. Everyone's okay. Moral of the story is you should not eat instruments. Thank you for listening to my silly story.